Hi, this is Dominic Keating. I played Lieutenant Malcolm Reed on Enterprise, as you probably know, and you are listening to the NX 7062 podcast. Enjoy.
Hello, hello, hello. Yes, you are listening to the NX 7062 podcast. And I think I am actually exactly where I'm supposed to be. Believe it or not, I fixed everything. And I think I'm exactly, kind of okay for tonight. What's funny is yesterday I ended up changing my flight to LA yet again. But this time I did it on a Sunday night instead of Monday, and now I am here and I was able to play with the new platform a little bit more, kind of get comfortable. Obviously, I found my Dominic intro, which I had thought I had uploaded but hadn't, so I found that and uploaded it tonight. I fixed the background issue. Now there does not say Chrome Cam anymore. I don't know what the hell was up with that. My real mic, my real headphones, everything, knock on wood, is working. Like I mentioned on Twitter earlier, this poor computer is having issues, and I have yet to figure out exactly why. I ended up upgrading the menu memory, and maybe maxing out the memory wasn't the best idea because now, it tends to crash. So knock on wood, we're going to get through this whole thing together tonight. As you can see, I'm fading in and out of the background, so I may end up adjusting that. I actually was playing with my new toy, courtesy of Domestic. I got my very own traveling video camera that I can plug my mic into next time I'm in Vegas and hopefully get some really good interviews going. That's what I want to say first. Y'all know that I am going to LA for this amazing event for the what is it, the Trek and Trekkers Shuttle Pod Show live show. But there's going to be, hey Janine, you literally do not see my video, like, because I am looking at my video and it says, see, this is why. Okay. Shit. Oh my gosh, how do you not see video? That is so weird. All right, you know what? There's a saying about you get what you pay for, and I'm literally spending $6 less here than I did on my other streaming site. And let's see. No. That's weird, Janine, because I'm just logged onto my YouTube and it looks like it's broadcasting. That's weird, Janine, because I'm just logged onto my YouTube and it looks like. That is so weird. Anybody else out there in TV land who cannot see me on YouTube, because I literally just logged onto YouTube and I'm playing on YouTube, at least for me. I mean, that's so weird. Janine, I don't know what to tell you, my dear. If you have Facebook, I simulcast to Facebook Live. So multi-streaming with you. All right, really not thrilled with that. So multi-streaming with you. All right, really not thrilled. That is so weird. Yeah, if anybody else out there is on YouTube and can't see me, let me know, because when I log on to YouTube, I can see me. Like, the video's working on YouTube. I don't know why it. Yeah. When in doubt, sign out and back in. Now I see you. There you go. All right. Janine, honestly, this is only my second week here on this streaming platform. So when you said that, I wasn't going to say that it was necessarily you. That's why I wanted to check. Hey, Travis, you spent all day trying to get my new modem and Wi-Fi router set up. Well, you're here, so does that mean that all went well? I hope. Because it's good to see you, Travis, and it looks like hopefully other people can see me, so that's always a good thing. I like to be seen as well as heard. Speaking of being seen as well as heard, yes, Oh, Janine, don't say that. Although, you know what I always say? I always say technology is great when it works. And for those of you that have not found this absolutely fantastic show on Netflix, of course, it's a BBC show. It's called The IT Crowd. Hi, Robert. It's called The IT Crowd, and it's hysterical. And you'll laugh at technology, and it's great. It's a little salty, it's a little inappropriate, and it's totally a BBC comedy, which is, of course, why I love it so much. But if you have Netflix, I highly recommend The IT Crowd. And what's really fun is I didn't realize how many people like me, like The IT Crowd, but I mean, there's GIFs everywhere, or GIFs, or however you want to say it. And I have so much fun finding my other friends that I can talk to about it. Oh, of course, she had to call. Of course, she had to call the cable company. Yeah, you know what's real? All right. If we're gonna share nightmares, I ordered a Surface Pro from my AT&T because you can actually get a Surface Pro as your tablet. I ordered it in the middle of December, and it was supposed to ship the other day. And that was after a delay. There was one shipping delay, then it was supposed to ship the other day. I had 2 customer service reps tell me, "Oh no, it's coming, it's coming." The same day that the second guy told me it was going to ship, it got canceled. I called, I talked to a manager. Not only didn't they get their shipment in, but they're negative 200, which means there are 200 people out there ahead of me and a bunch of other people, I'm sure, that are owed Microsoft Surface Pros. I really want one because it's perfect for traveling. I wanted to take it to LA with me because it's perfect to work in the airport because it's like a little baby laptop. Like I've got a nice big laptop that I can sit down and work on that I love because it's a 17-incher. But I wanted like a little baby laptop basically to use on the plane, take out, in the airport. And now I don't have it. And I mean, yes, I know I could go buy it, but the whole point of getting it from AT&T was it would get its own phone number so that I could put it, so it would have broadband, Wi-Fi, whatever you want to call it, because it would have cell service. It would have, it would have its own cell service as opposed to needing to tether to my phone or whatever. I have a phone tethering story that I've told a few times. If I remember at the end, I'll tell it again. But anyway, so that's been my tech saga for the last couple of days, is trying to figure out about getting a Microsoft Surface Pro. But anyway, what I was talking about, being seen and being seen and all that fun seeing stuff. Tomorrow night, my crew from the Lambda Quadrant is going to be hosting a first annual, because I have a feeling this is going to be an annual thing, our very first annual Sub Rosa night. The anniversary of the TNG episode, I think it was the 7th season episode, Sub Rosa, do not like the candle, and Beverly and her Nana's ghostly friend Ronan and all that. I guess in the annals of Star Trek history, you can call it a cult classic. Randy and Nikki from Lambda Quadrant, it is their utmost favorite TNG episode. Gates McFadden has embraced the sex ghost. In fact, when we were at STLV this past year, Randy, who is our 3D printing god, made little action figures that were little ghost candles. He printed little candle holders and put little pieces of tulle, little green pieces of tulle. And he made Gates a full-sized one that she took on stage. If anybody saw Gates McFadden's panel at STLV this past year, and she had the sex candle, Randy made that for her. Randy made her the ghost candle. So we're celebrating the anniversary of the premiere of Sub Rosa tomorrow night. I believe there's going to be some jackboxing. Some of us, not me, are going to be in cosplay. I'm hoping to be there. It starts at 8 p.m. East, 5 p.m. West, and I have something that I need to get done before the show starts. So if I'm not right there, I will be popping in. Yeah. Oh, wait. Hold on. Gates carrying around someone homemade haunted candle at recent STLV is everything. And yes, Randy, our Randy from Lambda Quadrant. Hi, Mars. Randy made it. He absolutely did. And let's see. I got to stop clicking on things. Okay, hide. All right. Like I said, new platform. Still deciding if I want to stick around. But yeah, Randy made it. And he also made little action figure ones. If anybody and Gates was signing the cards. I mean, they sat on boards. Randy said the hardest part of putting them together was boards. Let's see. Stephanie, are you in the wrong place? We are over on NX. Yep. No, I am on my website. I don't know why people are having a problem finding me. I am absolutely on my own YouTube channel tonight. I specifically fixed it. Magic, Nancy, and Mohammed are stuck. Well, I can fix. That is weird. Like I said, I didn't even plug it in to the other YouTube channel. I didn't want to simulcast on 2 YouTube channels. So I am 110% on my YouTube channel. And I mean, it's working. I was just over there and it worked because Jeannie came in and said that it wasn't working. So I don't know. A bunch of us are over there. Hold on a second. Let me. All right. So you know what? The more you guys are telling me that there's like crap happening, the more I'm thinking about going back to my other platform and just ditching this. Let's see. No, see, I'm here. I'm thinking about going back to my other platform and just ditching this. Let me mute myself so I don't keep coming over. 6 watching, started streaming 11 minutes ago. I am right on my NX. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be on my NX. Yeah, on the NX 7062 channel. I see you guys chatting here too. Maybe, yeah. No, I do not have a new channel, Robert. I have an old one that I don't use. No, this is the NX 7062 channel. Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. You know what? I'm even going to do one better. I'm going to do one better. Let's see. Hold on. Like I said, you guys get to watch. Isn't this exactly what you all signed up for, was to sit here and watch me do tech support on my own show? I mean, seriously, how much fun are we having? But no, seriously, hold on one second. But yeah, Lambda Quadrant, we sold out of those stickers too. Or stickers, action figures. But everybody loved them, so hopefully they will be back. It's just, you know, Randy is the guy. He's it for stuff like that. So it's just, it takes a lot out of him to, you know, and he's got an actual job. You know, Lambda Quadrant is fun and he loves doing all of that, but it's his actual job. And I am 120%, or as some of us like to say, 100. I am. Hey, Mohammed. Yeah, it had to have been the Mirror Universe because maybe you guys were stuck from last week, but this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am absolutely 110% exactly where the show's supposed to be, because I will tell you exactly what I did. I took a link. I took my Bitly link, copied it and pasted into Microsoft Edge, which I never use. And I got over to my NX 7062 channel, and that's where I was. So I don't know, Mohammed, you and I'll have to talk after the show, and you'll have to tell me how you all ended up getting sucked into the Mirror Universe, because I have to hear about that. That is so funny. Let's see. Is this show real? Hey, Lasso! Welcome back from the Mirror Universe. A reference that I'm not sure you're going to get, but you and I will talk about the Mirror Universe episodes you should be watching. Oh, I feel so much better now. My numbers are in the double digits. But seriously, guys, I mean, the Shuttlepod show almost got into the quadruple digits. Well, somebody better go jump on the Defiant and go grab her. There, hey, Nancy. Somebody better go find DJ Kitty Cat. Just jump over to the Mirror Universe and drag her back. Just make sure she doesn't get sucked into one of those agonizing chambers that we all know were created by Major Reed and Dr. Phlox. But anyway, so speaking of I'm getting double digits. Shuttlepod show almost got up to 1,000 views on their live stream on Sunday. So I know I recognize a bunch of faces. I know we have a lot of crossover. So we need to get them up to 1,000, maybe this Sunday for, is it Armin? Maybe Armin Shimmerman, I think. I know that I think that's who's up next, Armin Shimmerman. So you guys all need to get your I know what I'm asking him, and I'm keeping it to myself. And as you all know, I am famous for finding those non-Star Trek questions. And I definitely have one for Armin. But I'm not gonna share it because I don't want anybody to steal it. You know, benefits of being a patron over there, I get to, hopefully it will get asked. So let's see what else is going on. I mentioned Sub Rosa Day, which is tomorrow. If you follow Lambda Quadrant, yay, DJ Kitty Cat, welcome. So if you follow Lambda Quadrant, I happen to check the profile. Okay. I missed last week because I couldn't find it. Yeah, last week I screwed up. Last week that was me. There was a whole big thing with this new platform that I'm using, and I was using one of my old channels that I do not use anymore. It has 11 subscribers. Don't even bother. There is absolutely nothing over there. So glad y'all made it. But listen, here's for Lambda. If you follow Lambda, make sure I spell it right because I always usually leave out a letter quantity. If you follow Lambda on, they're everywhere. I love that. They're everywhere. And you'll find out, you'll get the links to join us tomorrow night for some Sub Rosa fun. If you have never played Quiplash with the Lambda Quadrant, you're in for a treat. So if you are free tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, please think about joining us for Sub Rosa Day. So what else is going on? Oh, I can't believe it. You know the joke about nerds not necessarily being very sportive. We have a joke in Lambda Quadrant. We just call it everything. They just call everything sports ball. Personally, I love football and baseball, and I'm very disappointed my team did not make it into the Super Bowl this year. But anyway, so nerds are not, traditionally sportive people, but yet the trailer for Picard dropped during the game yesterday. But I did pick it up this morning. I didn't watch the game. I'm not a fan of any of the teams. I tend not to watch teams I'm not a fan of. Anyway, but the season 3 huge amazing trailer dropped for Picard. If you haven't seen it already, it is on the YouTube. Go find it. It's amazing. Finally, Gates McFadden is in one because we were all wondering if she's alive or dead. Well, she's running around with a phase pistol. So I have a feeling that she's very much alive. Dave Gregory, hello. First person to use that term tonight. Chat Pack 2.0. Hi, Dave. How are you? There you go. You watch the game just to see the trailer. It's like people that watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials. But there is a Super Bowl party, just to wrap this back around to the live event. The Shuttlepod Show is having a Super Bowl party hosted by none other than Connor Trenier. So a bunch of the Shuttlepod people are talking on Discord because if you are a patron of the Shuttlepod Show, you actually get free access to their Discord. We've been chatting on Discord about whether or not to bring football jerseys. While I was digging through some stuff today, I found the football jersey I want to take. I found my 20th anniversary Enterprise shirt. Speaking of Philly, yeah, DJ Kitty Cat, no, please, no. We don't discuss that here. I would appreciate it if you not discuss that here. Very much. Thank you. I actually am not going, and that should tell you something because Connor and Dominic are both going to be there. But yeah, we don't discuss that here, please. Anyway, so let's see what else is going on. Can someone who understands Discord help me figure it out sometime? I'm getting Discord lessons as I go. I swear to God, I'm getting Discord lessons as I go. Absolutely. Let's see. Nope. Okay. Hold on one. Let's see. I want to make sure that I'm not having the other problem with redoing your computer when you try and set it back to whatchamacallit is that you lose all the cool stuff and then you forget what you disco lessons, and you forget what you need and all this other fun stuff. So hold on one second. Okay, so sorry, had to do that real quick. I know, like I said, you guys just love watching me do all this troubleshooting, don't you? Okay, so what else is going on? Oh yeah, so we're getting Picard. The live event is the 9th, and oh my god, the 9th. I am flying into LA and I'm not getting until 11 o'clock, so I'm going to miss the live LA premiere. Unfortunately, because I might have been able to go, but that's like the third time I've changed my flight. I can't change it anymore. Stupid day job. So we've got the actual premiere, like for everybody else that can't go to the LA premiere, is Thursday the 16th. And then guess what? Baby Yoda is coming back March 1st. So it's like we're not doubling up on the Trek, but we are going to be doing some Star Wars and some Star Trek. So there you go. What else? Night Court is back. Anybody that watched Trek Talks 2 a couple weeks ago, Brent Spiner actually brought it up. He said he hasn't been asked. People have already asked him if he'd go back, and he says, well, nobody's asked me to go back. Somebody ask Brent Spiner to reprise his role as Bob Wheeler on Night Court. Please, 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 please. We are 3 episodes in to Night Court. I just actually watched last Tuesday's episode tonight before the show. It's good. I love John Larroquette. He's still got it. He's still got the timing. He's still amazing. The rest of the cast is just taking a little longer to grow on me. I do like Melissa Rauch from Big Bang Theory. My only critique of the first 2 episodes were she brought up her dad too much. I'm like, yes, we get it. You're supposed to be Harry Stone's daughter. But then last week's episode, they only brought him up once, and it was very poignant, and it was well done. And it's interesting that Dan Fielding was like the one thing that makes Night Court so not appropriate for this time. And he hasn't talked about being reformed yet. I have a feeling it probably has. Yes, he does. I completely agree with you, because there's just something about Bob Wheeler. I 120% agree with you. So hopefully somebody asks him back. Because, I mean, every actor will tell you, oh, well, would you go back to this? Would you go back to that? It doesn't matter what the actor wants. They have to be asked by whatever production it is, which, honestly, the one time that John Delancey snapped at me was because I met him very briefly at a convention before they charged for signatures back in the day when Creation used to do them at the Pennsylvania Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. And I said, would you ever go back to Days of Our Lives? Because the first place I ever saw John Delancey was on Days of Our Lives. And he kind of snapped at me. And I have a feeling that was more about the broken air conditioning, the heat of summer, and the fact that your line goes on forever and there's no stop because you're free. I forgave him by 2016 when I met him again in New Jersey. But yeah, I mean, that's just something, hey, any actor, it's a paycheck. Remember the whole thing about the check clearing from yesterday's show? It's all about the paycheck. It is 110% about the paycheck. And so yeah, I mean, chances are he'd do it. It's a matter of John Larroquette, who, as we all know, is a fellow Star Trek alum, Star Trek 3, Search for Spock, Maltz. So somebody just needs to ask him. So please, John Larroquette, get on that, because he is an executive producer. Okay, so I already talked about we're just under 2 weeks away from the live event in LA with the Shuttle Pod Show. There is talk of streaming. They're not 100% sure how that's going to work, but my suggestion for anybody out there that's interested in seeing a live stream of what's happening in LA, become a patron. I don't know. You know me, I don't speak to what I don't know. That is my personal suggestion, is that if they do streaming, chances are the patrons will be the first up to get it. As far as what they decide to release to the general public, that, you know, I don't, like I said, no 100% decisions have been made, but I would suggest if you're on the fence about becoming a patron of the Shuttlepod Show, consider doing it before the live event. So, let's see. Have they made that decision, Mars? Last I heard it was still up in the air. That's why I'm just saying I don't want to say 100% that the only people that are going to see it is patrons. Per Mark. All right. Okay, per Mark. Then yeah, then definitely join Patreon, because you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be freaking amazing. I haven't talked to Mark today. We've both been like really, really busy, so I haven't had a chance to touch base with him today. But if that's what he said, then definitely join Patreon, because he may or may not change his mind. We don't know. You know, we still have a couple weeks. So, but don't miss out because you were on the fence. You can also join me on Patreon. I live stream all the time, so that's nothing new and exciting, but you could help support the show, help me, you know, find the best platform to stream that you guys don't get shut out of every other week. Like I said, I like this platform for certain reasons, but so oh yeah, their Patreon, yeah, the Patreon is super, super duper affordable. Levels start at $5. I think you can also do a one-time donation. So yeah, just go check out their Patreon page. Just go to Patreon. Also kid B-Day party to take my munchkin to earlier. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, so the other things about the Shuttlepod Show, I know eventually we're going to get into the topic for tonight. We're what? Almost a half an hour in and I haven't gotten there yet. Thanks so much to all the tech difficulties. Tim Russ, how amazing was he? I think one of my favorite things is when like Bob Picardo and Tim Russ, and they start talking about space and not just, yeah, we flew around against a backdrop, but actual love of space. Okay, last we heard. This is another reason why you guys need to like either become patrons or just really follow the Shuttlepod Show, because everything is in motion. As Yoda says, always in motion is the future. You never know. You just never know what's happening. We were all talking about dads in the Mirror Universe earlier. There you go. And we will see, Mirror Universe, you guys beat me to the punch. You started with dads and I'm going to end with the dads. Globular cluster. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I just love when he talks about space. I love how either you love space and then you get lucky enough to play in space in Star Trek, or Star Trek ignites a passion for astronomy. But I think his passion for astronomy predated his Star Trek. You have to understand, I pay very close attention to the chats, so I don't always catch everything. I do usually need to sit down and rewatch. But the other cool thing is that we found out Connor has guitars. So you know what? He needs to bring one of his guitars and sit in with the band. Just saying, just a suggestion. That would be really totally amazingly cool. So the other cool thing that's actually happening out in LA, and I just kind of had a chance to sit down, Gallifrey 1 is happening the weekend after, and I can't wait. I want to try and get in on Friday. I know I'm getting in on Saturday, but Eric Pierpoint's going to be there on Friday. I may need to make a trip out there on Friday. And just see if I can get in for a minute to say hi to Eric Pierpoint. I've never met him in person. He did my show back when it was audio only, which you guys may actually get to hear, because there's going to be one Monday that I'm in LA, and then it was going to be two, but I shortened my trip. So there's one Monday that I'm definitely going to be in LA that I haven't decided if I'm going to do something live yet. I think that kind of sort of depends on where I end up finding my accommodations. Yes, something. Yes, Bob is very involved with the Planetary Society. Absolutely. He might even be on their board. I don't know for sure. But yeah, he's definitely involved. Go follow him. Go on his Twitter. He's mentioning it all the time. So anyway, I haven't decided what I'm going to do, but you may actually all get to hear my Eric Pierpoint interview if I rehash it and throw it up for you guys, because I don't know, 7 o'clock on the California coast. I don't know if I'm going to feel like doing a podcast or if I'm going to feel like going out and enjoying my evening. So we'll have to see what happens. And it's funny because, I would love to move to LA, but if I moved to LA, what would happen to the live stream? Because then I'd have to set aside 7 o'clock every Monday night for you guys. Because there's no way I would do that to you. There's no way I'd be like 10 o'clock West Coast time and then make the rest of you all stay up till 1 a.m. Yes, this is very true. Bob does too much to list here. Him and all the Star Trek doctors, him and Phlox, JB, do so much good. All right. So I think we've all waited long enough. So on to tonight's topic, which is Star Trek dads. And of course, you got to start with the first one. I would consider him the first one, which would be Sarek in Journey to Babel. And, Spock doesn't tell anybody they're his parents until a little bit later. And then you get to see this very interesting dynamic between two completely emotionally shut off people who are father and son, which I think in a way reflects the tone of the 60s with how actual father-son relationships were. The mothers were the homebodies and the nurturers, and Sarek is the worst. Oh, that's interesting. I kind of liked Sarek, but yeah, as a dad, he sucked. I mean, from a cultural standpoint. But like I said, I think he's very reflective of the attitudes of fathers and sons in the 60s. The moms were the nurturers. His mom was human. She was the nurturer. She was the emotional one. But the men, the fathers of the 60s, were supposed to be, very, Yes, actually that's in my notes. Worf actually I think is worse. I would have to agree. Made his son be twice as Vulcan as anyone else. I don't know. You know what? I caught just a piece of Journey to Babel the other day when it was on H&I. I have to sit down and rewatch it before I can comment on that, because I mean the Sarek I know better is the Sarek from the movies. Let's see. Trip and T'Pol in my headcanon parented much better than Sarek and Amanda. Well, let's not forget that T'Pol and her Trillium D addiction opened up her floodgates a little more. So I think I'm not sure that Sarek was forcing. I mean, I think a lot of that came from Spock himself. But like I said, I need to sit down and watch Journey to Babel again, but compare it to the Sarek who went in search of his son in 3. And wait, was it 3? Yeah, in the beginning of 3, and Sarek went in search of his son, and then the whole put his Katra back, and the Vulcan priestess is like, we haven't done this and he's like, no, do it. There was love there. There was absolutely love there. So so I'm not sure I can agree with you, DJ Kitty Cat, on that one. I am definitely leaning towards Worf is a worse father. No, he was driven to be what he thought was true Vulcan to impress his dad, perhaps, or to placate the bullies. Okay. Are we talking the 2009 version of Spock? Because I don't remember if there were bullies ever mentioned in TOS. Now, I have nothing. I like the movies. Don't get me wrong. The J.J. Abrams things, I like them. I'm just wondering if that's where you're talking about. Yes, but remember in Star Trek, the motion picture, he was actually going to do the Kolinar. He was going to purge his emotions. So George Kirk from Essington maybe sacrificed himself so that you could have a James Kirk. Yep, he does win. He wins a good Oh, and Yesteryear. All right, I will watch Yesteryear. TAS mentioned bullies. See, TAS, I don't remember. Like I said, TAS is something I really do need to sit down and watch. Thank you for that clarification. And that is canon, so I can't argue with that. That is absolute canon. So, all right. So we've talking about TOS Spock. Robert, what did I miss that you said? Spock was driven to be a true Vulcan. Yeah. You were talking about TOS. I was trying to figure out where DJ Kitty Cat was talking about bullies because I didn't remember bullies, except that if it happened in TAS, then obviously it's canon. I just haven't watched TAS in a very long time. Let's see. TNG. Speaking of bad dads, TNG. Picard. True. He was bullied in Discovery too. Very true, Travis. Thank you. TNG. Picard ironically became a very much a father figure to a lot of people, and yet he admittedly hated being around children, didn't want to be around children, and then of course they stuck him in a turbo lift with children. They turned him into a child. They did everything they possibly could to make him really uncomfortable. Wesley on the bridge, but he was definitely a father figure, reluctantly so. And let us not forget, he was fooled for about 30 minutes into thinking he had a son, when that guy was after that whole vendetta thing. But I just always thought that was interesting because he was a reluctant dad, because there were people that looked up to him in that capacity, and he's like, no, not me. And then, yeah, let's talk about Worf. Worfy. Kalar kept Alexander from him. Maybe if she hadn't done that and he had been there from the get, then maybe he would have been a better father. But now he's dealing with, that's awesome, Travis. That is awesome. Yeah, he really was. Yeah, which completely separated him from Kirk, obviously. Let's see. Worf was a bad dad because he was, Worf was a bad dad because he was alternately authoritarian and neglectful. Worf didn't know how to be a dad. Like I said, it's like 1 minute you don't have a kid, the next minute you find out you have a kid, and then his mom dies, and now you're a single dad. That was never the ideal situation. You can kind of, sort of, in a way, almost blame his parents too. If they had told him that, not that they didn't love Alexander, and of course they wanted to help Worf out, but maybe if they had told him that they wouldn't take Alexander, and Worf had more time to be with Alexander. Well, yeah, but that's the thing. He never seems to put forth enough. He never seemed, yeah, exactly. He dumped the kid. He's like, I can't, instead of, he's like, I can't deal with this. Go do what I did. Go live with the humans. Go live with your human. This kid was Klingon. He was raised in Klingon society for the most part. And now he's being dumped. And he's being shuffled around. That's bad That's bad parenting. That's absolutely bad parenting all around. Counselor Troy should have stepped in and said, do not send Alexander off this ship. I love the fact that Luoxana was able to step in and try and help. But yeah, it's just all around bad parenting. Worf had a lot going on, I think. I think that the challenge with Worf was Worf struggled with his own Klingonness, because having been raised by humans, and now he's got a son that's not 100% Klingon, and then he sends him off to be raised by his parents. So he's struggling to be a better Klingon, and then in waltz is his son, who is reminding him of his own failings as a Klingon because he was raised by humans. It was just bad all around. It was just bad all around. So Worf gets no parenting awards. The ship was designed for families. They could have had fun with Worf as a parent. Yeah, exactly. It was just, they didn't have anything for him to do. They decided to shuffle him off and then bring him back on just to cause quarter human. Wasn't half human, he was a quarter human, I think. Yeah. Worf's full Klingon. Genetics. Worf is full Klingon. His mother was half human, half Klingon. That makes Alexander only a quarter human. Maybe not. We don't know. We don't know. Worf needed, let's see. What does Travis think? Worf needed to lose custody of his son. He was cruel and uncaring, and don't forget how Worf treated his son on the Bird of Prey. Yeah. Like I said, Worf was struggling with his own Klingon identity. And so to see his son, who did have that quarter human side to him, just I really think he was being reminded of his own failings as a Klingon, being around humans so much, and he never really was, he never worked on it. Yeah, and he was dating Troy. Let's not forget he and Troy dated, and she couldn't impart some wisdom, some counselorish wisdom on him at some point. Maybe I want that to be true because I'm an imperfect. There's imperfect. There's a difference between imperfect, where there is no such thing as a perfect parent. I mean, every parent has failings. I can't even imagine what it's like to be a single parent. Mom or dad, cannot imagine. You have examples, and it was, I know maybe this is why Jeannie's here, because she's waiting for me to say, she got in touch with me on Twitter and said, the best Star Trek dad. How could it be anybody but Captain Sisko? So you see Captain Sisko as a shining example of what a parent who tries can be. Imperfect, struggling with losing his mate, struggling with this new assignment, struggling with raising his teenage son. They're both still in mourning. You know, he's got his demons about how he lost his wife. Then he's the emissary. He's got all this going on, and he still is there. He still has dinners. He still makes the effort. He's still there. He is not perfect. No, he is not perfect. There is no such thing as the perfect father, and he fails and he stumbles, but he gets up and he does it again because his love for his son is pure. He is a great dad, but he is not perfect, Travis. He's great, but he's not perfect. And anytime you listen to Sirach talk about him, he is also, Avery Brooks himself is a fantastic father figure because Jake grew up on that set with Avery as a mentor. So Avery, the man, was obviously able to bring that nurturing to Sisko. But like I said, all parents fail. All parents have problems. It was the 90s, just like the way Sarek, I feel like, is a reflection of how fathers were in the 60s. You know, in the 90s, you know, things are progressing. Moms aren't automatically granted custody like they used to be. So I think there's definitely more single dadness going on now that we're got into the 90s. So yes, let's present a good single father story. Let's present a solid single father story to counterbalance the episodes where Worf is being a bad dad. And then, like I said last week, you've got like the quote unquote traditional nuclear family with O'Brien and Keiko and the kids. And one of the things I love, you know, we all know that we got to see Chief O'Brien become a dad on TNG, and then we got to see the family evolve on Deep Space Nine. I just recently saw the episode where he's trying to teach Molly how to play darts, which I thought was freaking adorable. Absolutely 110% freaking adorable. So, you know, like I said, they're the nuclear family, but Star Trek is, as always, is so progressive. It's showing different models of family, because then you've also got Rom and Nog. Let's not forget Rom and Nog. Can we judge Rom as a good or bad father? Well, that depends, because now we're getting to see, you know, the thing that Trip Tucker always had the problem with was seeing things outside of his own cultural perspective. We're seeing a Ferengi family, and Nog is being raised with Ferengi values, which a lot of them butt right up against human values. I love H&I. It was either H&I or Pluto, because Pluto TV has 2 Star Trek channels now, and one of them, all it does is play Deep Space Nine. I don't know if it's a Paramount thing where Paramount is only giving them permission to play the original series, TNG and DS9. But I mean, come on, there's other stuff they could be playing. Yeah, exactly. Rom was incredibly supportive. He was a great dad. He was incredibly supportive. You know, but then you watch how Nog treats women on dates with that whole chew my food for me, cut and chew my food for me. Why are you wearing clothes? You know, and then you're like, because usually when you see kids acting a way that's contrary to what you think is proper, don't you always go, how did your parents raise you? So, you know, you're watching Nog be a jerk in human terms to these women, but by Ferengi terms, he's being perfect. He was raised right, and he's being perfectly within how a Ferengi would treat a Ferengi female. Good or bad, whether we agree with it or not. Let's see. Travis says, Ben wasn't perfect, but that's what makes him perfect, because he and Jake loved each other and they would talk and have dinner together, and he made the effort. Definitely made the effort. Let's see. Dave Gregory says, ooh, bad dads. Talk about that. That's funny. Right, exactly. Nog knew how to be Ferengi, but not human. And that's what I'm saying. That's what was really interesting. Like I said, because here on Earth, just within different cultures, there's different parenting. So watching Rom raise Nog in the Ferengi culture shines a light on the fact that what we would see as maybe, quote, as Americans, or and our parental, how we would raise our children as Americans, or, you know, however your family values were raised, however you see yourself, this is how in your culture you would raise your children. But then you look at other cultures and you're going, well, they're wrong. No, they're not wrong. They're doing what is within their culture. And I love how Star Trek shines that light. And like I said, Trip never was able to see that. Prime Directive. But so that's what I liked about having that family unit. And then watching Rom try to protect Nog from Quark. Quark was a good uncle. He wasn't great, but he was a good uncle when it counted. He loved Nog, but his views of life and Rom's views of life and parenting. Let's see. Rom threatened Quark when Quark. There you go. See, exactly. Quark made a good uncle, but he was not the best parental figure. So thank goodness Rom was there to keep everything on the straight and narrow. So moving. Okay, let's see. It was great seeing multi-generational with Cisco and the parental relationship. We didn't just have Benjamin and Jake. We had Joseph's interactions. That's right. We did. We had Joseph's interactions. We got to see Jake, both young and old, because can't forget Tony Todd did a really fabulous older Jake Sisko. But I want to move on to Voyager, which honestly, okay, so Neelix was kind of a father figure-ish to Naomi Wildman, now that I'm thinking about it. And again, this is all about, you can't pick sometimes you don't pick your family, sometimes you make your own family. But I mean, the only parental things I really think can pull out of Voyager, honestly, that I can speak to, besides Tom Paris doing the same thing that Janeway did, abandoning the lizard children. There you go. Oh, toot toot beep beep. Hey, that's also a Sex and the City reference, Lasso. Don't forget that one episode where they were on Staten Island. That's one of the other things that Lasso and I have in common. Okay, so Tom Paris had issues with his dad, exactly, Admiral Paris, that we never really, I mean, nothing was ever resolved. They were, quadrants apart. You knew Tom had issues, but then at the end, when they're communicating through that, whatever that is, and Admiral Paris finally gets a chance, I'm proud of him. Well, great. You still haven't worked through your issues. Tom still has issues. You saw that in some flashy back, some hallucinogenic episodes. So really, how was it? Okay. Oh, we're talking about the Donna Summer concert. Lasso's a music guy. Abso-freaking-lutely. So yeah, there wasn't really much parental stuff as far as dads went in Voyager. Although the EMH somehow became a father. That planet that was completely out of sync with the rest of the galaxy the whole time, like major wibbly wobbly timey wimey thing, where the planet went faster than like the rest of the universe, and they sent the EMH down because he wouldn't be affected, and somehow he became a father. Did they ever explain that? Because I've only ever caught bits and pieces of that episode. I've never sat down and seen the whole thing. But does anybody know if they ever explained how the EMH became a parent? Because I would be really interested. I mean, obviously the simple is he adopted, but who knows? So that skippy over the Voyager stuff brings us to, of course, Enterprise. And I mean, the first scene. All right, yeah, never explained. I didn't think so. They just kind of dropped that in there and walked away, which I thought was really rude. He lean more towards mentor than father. Father's a little creepy to me in that relationship, personal opinion. So I lean more towards mentor. Mento's a breath mint. So Enterprise kicks off with dads. I mean, the first scene, little Johnny Archer and his dad. First scene where he's painting the model. That model that he kept. His dad wasn't on Horizon. His dad had died by Horizon, Nancy. I don't think we heard about Travis. We knew Travis had a great relationship with his dad. We never saw him. We just heard about that letter that he wrote that kind of put Travis at ease in his grief. You know, that his dad really was proud of him for deciding to move over to Starfleet and pilot the NX. But we know Henry Archer had a huge effect on Jonathan Archer's life. He's brought up through, he's brought up many times through the course of the series. And you get that feeling. I mean, obviously you see them flying the model together, and then in Solimitude, that model comes right back out, and you're right back on that beach with little Johnny Archer or little Admiral Johnny Archer is that thing in the book. Yeah. Little Johnny Archer, so obviously he kept that model and shared it with Sim. I mean, that connection with his dad followed him all of his life. So obviously you have to figure Henry Archer was an amazing dad, because I mean, look at the son that he raised. Then, like I said, Travis's dad, we never meet him, but we do get to know a little bit about him through the episode Horizon. And then, I mean, Trip gets the award for being a mother and a father. Yeah, that's true. I will give you that. Phlox does raise Sim. Phlox does absolutely raise Sim for 10 days. But I will give you that absolutely 100%. Plus, I mean, Phlox has all of his other kids. Let's not forget, Phlox is the dad of all dads. 3 wives with him, all the kids. He's got I mean, seriously, my parents, how many of you went through the whole thing where your parents called you by your sibling's name? Like if they were angry at you or they weren't thinking and you got called by. Can you imagine the Denobulans? Well, hello, Mr. Cartier. Hello. How nice of you to drop by. So now I'm really glad we had technical issues because it extended the show so that you could drop by. Oh, that's true. The only time he was a father was when he was living somebody else's life. So, Mark, chime in. We're talking about Star Trek dads. And of course, your timing is so perfect because we just got up to Trip, who was both mother, father to Elizabeth, father to and father to Lorian in E2. So Trip wins the parenting award. He's got the trifecta. He was a mother. He was a father in an alternate. Hey, Linda. He was a father in an alternate timeline. And he was a father in his own timeline, but only through genetic manipulation. So I think Trip wins some really weird parenting award for just how he became a parent, because he never did it the old fashioned way. He never just he never became a parent the old fashioned way. Well, pregnant, yeah, but he was impregnated through beads, through stones. Wasn't even anything, that we would have expected. Yes, exactly. See, he wins the all-time parenting award. Can we give him something? Somebody should make him a trophy for the live event. But Trip isn't dead. Maybe he still could be. Yes, that's true. He does have he could. Let's see. Hold on. The transfer of genetic material. Yeah, exactly. Transfer of genetic. See, what fun is there? Well, there was that little static electricity buzz, but seriously, not as much fun as the old-fashioned way, I'm sure. I guess somebody should ask to Paul. Sorry. It is after hours. It is almost 11 o'clock here. But let's see. He definitely went on to have kids with DePaul later, and no one can convince me differently. Yeah, I mean, look at it this way. This is true, he enjoyed it. He just didn't know what was going to come of it. But yeah, he definitely enjoyed it. Give Trip a best dad ever mug. There you go. And then in parentheses put and mom. That's all. You got to do that. Somebody just put it in parentheses. So let's see. Oh, the other shout out, speaking of unconventional and choosing your own family, and how important it is sometimes that the bonds are more than blood. Let's not forget Stamets and Kubler on Discovery, and how they brought Adira and Gray into their family. That is definitely the perfect example of how you make your family. And sometimes the family you make is better than the blood, depending on your situation. But had to, of course, mention those two super dads. Let's see. Dave Gregory. He carried an alien babe but didn't nurture it like a parent. He wanted it gone. Yes, but he grew nipples. He has to get some sort of recognition for the fact that he grew nipples. He started nesting. Like any good pregnant mom will tell you, there's a nesting phase. That the lift was probably my favorite part. He cracked me up in the lift where he was arguing about how a little person could fall underneath. Pike definitely has dad energy. Okay. Pike definitely has dad energy. The ship's dad. That could be said about just about every decent captain. Yes, Trip's nesting was probably the best part. And the emotional. And don't forget, he also got emotional. And then he had to wear street clothes because his uniform. Connor, I think Connor just played that so well. I mean, my hat's off to Connor for playing pregnant and growing and having to sit in makeup and let them attach 3 nipples to his arm. He also wins an award for that. Maybe he was nurturing a bit. There you go. I mean, yeah, he wanted it out of him, but okay, so here's the thing. He wanted it out of him. He could have had flocks. He could have just been like, we're never going to find these guys. Just get rid of it. But no, he didn't just he wanted it out of him, but he wanted to return it. He wanted to give it back to its mother. So that's nurturing as well. The fact that he didn't just want to get rid of it, he wanted to get rid of it safely. He wanted to return it to whence it came and get it back to where it needed to be. So that's very nurturing. So Trip definitely gets points for that as well. So I don't know, was he a better mother or a better father? Huh. Those nipples were great. Like I said, I can't even imagine having to sit in makeup because they were so beautiful, like perfectly done. I mean, nobody took any shortcuts for that half a second where he rolled up his arm. Nobody, the makeup department gets a lot of kudos for that. So let's see. To quote the Fockers, I have nipples. Greg, can you milk me? Oh my God. Looked very annoying, irritating. Okay. So definitely. Let's see. So does the returns on the baby. Okay. So does anybody have any more suggestions about a favorite dad? Somebody I skipped over. Because they definitely, I mean, if we look at last week versus this week, there was definitely way more female energy, way more momness through the years of Star Trek than there was dadness, let's say. So while we sit here and wait and see if Mark is still with us so we can ask him if he has anything he'd like to tell us about the upcoming live show that we already haven't discussed, which was whether or not it will be streaming and how amazing it's going to be. Let's see. Dave Gregory, it made me imagine how the species. No one mentioned O'Brien. I mentioned O'Brien. Mentioned O'Brien a couple of times. Chief O'Brien? Absolutely. He became a dad on TNG when we got to follow his family through to DS9. Yeah, we talked about O'Brien. It's just he's a good dad. I mean, he's a family man. I mean, honestly, that's just kind of, like I said, they were the nuclear family. They were the example of the mom, dad, and kid. And he was good. He played darts with his daughter when he wasn't off playing with his boyfriend on the holodeck. When he wasn't off with Bashir on the holo suites, he loved his kids. So there just isn't, we did not, hold on. We did meet holo dads like Deanna Troy's dad and Wesley. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I think Worf does get the worst dad award. There was a vote for Sarek earlier from DJ Kitty Cat, but I definitely think that Worf gets the worst dad award. Absolutely. And I had a couple other people agree with me, so I think, yeah, we love Michael Dorn, but Worf gets the worst. Oh, Mark, see, you missed all that coming in late. The voting is in, the polls have closed. He had holo kids. He had some kid down on that planet that we still don't know about. Yoshi. All right, Dave, you gotta. It's drive me crazy. It's not ringing any bells. Expound on that character name or somebody else. Data. Yes. How could we forget about Data? He was a good dad. Sung was not. Absolutely. Then again, have we met a non-Android version of Sung that we liked? I don't think that okay. Thanks, Linda. Okay. But have we met a human version of Sung that any of us likes? Data was a better dad than any of the Sungs put together. I think we mentioned Data as a dad in the Mirror Universe. Yeah, no, thank you for reminding me. I almost forgot that LOL episode. You wanted to just cry at the end. I probably did the first time I saw it. But letting the android pick right from the get, letting the android pick their gender and letting the android, have its own experiences and wanting to be a good parent. Yeah, I thought it was fabulous. I thought Data was he's a great dad. He's a great pet dad. I mean, that's the thing. Archer can win an award for being a pet dad because Porthos. Spot was very well taken care of. So Data definitely wins an award for being a good dad and a good pet dad. So, yes, can't forget Data. So thank you. Oh, right. That episode with the Romulans? Or no, it wasn't the Romulans. The Dream. The Romulans were part of the Dream. Yes, it is. Which means we've got to wrap this up before midnight so that I can watch. I think it's Badlands. It's Badlands. It's Augments, Cold Station 12, Badlands. Data Sung type mom. Hey, JR! Fancy meeting you here, my friend. For those of you that don't know, but most of you should. JR made me pins. That's JR. He made me my NX706 pins. He's awesome. I also have some Shuttle Pod Show pins lying around. Oh, he also made these. Which, let me pull back. He made Shuttle Pod Show pins. He also made these. He made me all kinds of pins. Let's see if I can get these on camera. Probably. Oh, wait, almost. They're there. You can't really tell, but the hearts have the uniforms, have the Enterprise uniforms in them, and they're awesome. JR's awesome. Would the nipple have... We're still talking about Trip's nipples. Wait, did I miss Jean and... Oh, have they? No. And I told Tony Fett he needed to show up. I have not seen Jean Malo or Tony in here. No, Lasso. Sorry. Yeah, they haven't been here. Silly. They're missing out on all the fun talking about Star Trek dads. I mean, in the whole, but just because we're just the worst, we all have to admit that as bad as Worf was, okay? As bad as Worf was, the worst dad in the entire science fiction universe would have to be Darth Vader. That just popped into my head. Darth Vader has to win the worst dad in sci-fi award, right? Just saying. And yes, Fu is a furry. Lactation consultant. Oh my God, this really is kind of turning into an after hours party, which is totally fine. I love having you all here. It's amazing. So let's see. Data's a good dad. The songs are not good dads. That does include, now that you mentioned the third part of the Augments series, that song sucked as a dad too. He was a father to a bunch of augments. He was dedicated to turning his son to the dark side, and he facilitated the death of their mother. So at least Worf didn't do that. He redeemed himself in the end. I don't know. I mean, he did, but that was after he cut Luke's hand off. It was after he broke Padme's heart and basically hastened her death. Because let's not forget, even though that completely screws up the original canon, because let us not forget that Leia talked about her real mother in Return of the Jedi. So this is what kills me, is that Lucas can't even keep to his own canon. And I think he admitted that at some point, but he sort of screwed up his own canon. But yeah, it's kind of hard to yeah, okay, I saved you from the Emperor. Does that make up for me taking off your hand? There you go, dedicated to the dark side. That you cannot argue, Vader. And don't get me wrong, my license plate on my car says Sith Lady. I am all about the Sith. I love the Sith. I love the dark side. I have a huge, I mean, I do. I love, there are certain theories. There's a scene in, which was it? There was a scene in the last one, Revenge of the Sith. The conversation that Anakin had with Palpatine, that Anakin had with Palpatine at that opera, that bubble opera, that explained the difference between the Sith and the Jedi, and how the Sith can live in the gray area and the Jedi are into absolutes. And I have never been into absolutes. So I've always appreciated the Sith philosophy, not the whole do evil thing, but I've always appreciated their philosophy a little bit more. So yes, dedicated to dark side works for me. Did I talk about Cricket Montgomery and Shirley Feeney before I got it? No, I did not. But yes, actually, the one thing I did want to mention, and I am going to screw up the last name, but Star Trek lost an actor yesterday, Annie, who played the Borg Queen in Picard season 2, but she was also in the episode Oasis. She played the daughter in Oasis, and she was in Chicago. She was just in Chicago, but she died of cancer, And she was working through that whole thing. She was an amazing, I mean, just knowing that makes her absolutely amazing. Like Chadwick Boseman, just kept, just kept living their lives, basically a fuck cancer kind of thing. They just lived their lives. So that's amazing. But we also lost Lisa Loring, who played the original Wednesday, the Addams Family, and Cindy Williams, Cindy Williams, who most people know as Shirley from Laverne and Shirley. But she was also in George Lucas's American Graffiti with Harrison Ford. So that gives her that little tie into Star Wars, which at some point I'm sure I could figure out a way to get us over into Star Trek. Thank you, DJ Kitty Cat. Appreciate it, because yep, Leon and the Borg Queen. Where's the name? Thank you, DJ Kitty Cat. Wershig, I think is how she pronounced it. I don't know. Yep, Liana. That's the name. She's Liana and the Borg. And she was a fantastic Borg Queen. Oh my God, did she really? That actually doesn't surprise me. I mean, she did know Lucas, so from American Graffiti. So that doesn't surprise me. But thank you for that trivia, Lasso. I did not know that. Love it. Lasso is my Lasso, besides many other things, is definitely a trivia god. You and Mark Cartier, Mark and his Star Trek trivia, and Lasso basically you and everything else pop culture. So, yeah. So 2023 has not started off well. Let's see. Oh wow. All right. Cindy's screen test is on one of the SW bonus features, which means I probably have it because I have just about every incarnation of the original Star Wars. I have the videotapes. I have VHS and DVDs and Blu-rays, and and 2 4Ks. A couple of the first, when I got a 4K player, Jedi was, I think, the first thing I ordered. Aw, JR, yeah, we were, okay. Met Annie in Chicago, told her welcome to the family, and told her about a Janeway Borg Queen poster I wanted to make. Oh, that's so sweet. That's awesome. I'm glad you got that chance to do that. I didn't get a chance to talk to her. I knew she was there. I did not see her. I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but that's really sweet, JR. That's great. It's always great when you have those chances and you get a chance to take them. I know Lasso and I were talking earlier, and I know you met Cindy Williams because you got her autograph because you showed it to me. All right. So anything else? You know what? I had heard that. I had actually just heard that our first acting job was Ent. All right. Oh, let's see. Hold on. Of course it's on YouTube. So who needs Blu-rays? Who needs to go looking for bonus features when you can just go to YouTube? Thanks, Lasso. Mark. Let's see. I'm not here. I'm waiting for trucks and truckers fix to happen so that I can relax. Okay. So you're not here. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, the website's been a little bit problematic, but fear not. We are on it. Mark is on it, I should say. He is fixing it for everybody else that needs to get tickets to this amazing event that is happening the 10th, 11th, and 12th in February in LA. I got to talk to her too. She was amazing. So animated, looked you right in the eye to your soul. Like, aw, that's amazing. Our website issue. Yeah. But you're still hanging out here because we're making you feel a little bit better and helping you pass the time while you're waiting for your website issue to be fixed. And I just appreciate you being one of my little viewers up in the corner where I can see how many viewers I have. I appreciate that you number amongst them, Mark, whether or not you're in the chats. So thank you for being here. Let's see. Oh, but speaking of their website, the other thing about Shuttlepod Show is their new merch is just about to land. I know they're trying to straighten some stuff out with that. So all the cool stuff like that Trip's Not Dead shirt that I have and the coffee mug I bought, which I still haven't brought up to show you guys. That's all going to be legacy merch very, 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 very soon. Oh, yes. Thank you, DJ Kitty Cat. Everybody smash on that like button for me. Leave lovely, lovely comments. Hashtag Trek Love. Absolutely. Thanks, Mark. Let's see. What did Linda say? I got to talk to her too. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. New merch is on YouTube and Instagram. But can we purchase new merch yet? Is the question. I know we can see it, but are you just teasing us, or is there a way to buy it? By the way, Wash has his own fan club now. He also has a shirt. He has a shirt that was designed. So for those of you that are into the Wash, yeah, all right, you can buy it too. So head on over. Buy the new stuff, buy the old stuff. I just might need a new Trips Not Dead shirt to go with my new classic Trips Not Dead shirt. Just saying. That might just have to happen. Although maybe I'll wait until I get out to LA and buy it, because I have a feeling that you're going to be selling merch at the event. I don't know. A little bird told me that there's probably going to be merch being sold at the event. I don't know where I heard that from, but I'm just saying. Yes, the Wash shirt. Let's see. Hold on. Classic Trips Not Dead. Awesome. Yep. Classic Trips Not Dead. It's getting packed. I have it. It's going to get. No, not that little bird. The little producer bird might have whispered in my ear that there's going to be merch at the event. Just saying. That's what I'm hearing. Wash love. Everybody loves the avocado. Everybody loves the avocado plant. We should make a song. You guys know that the ant can't move the rubber tree plant, but he's got high hopes. We need to think of a cute little avocado tree song for Wash. And maybe Connor can do it on his guitar. We were talking about Connor having guitars earlier. Maybe Connor can make a Wash song, write a cute little Wash song. Wash is the best. I mean, he's the perfect mascot. You don't have to take him for walks. You do have to feed him and you have to water him. You don't have to take him for walks. He doesn't mess on the carpet. Oh God, are you serious, Lasso? I don't remember the last time I watched an episode of Laverne and Shirley. But I will tell you this, when I was a kid, I actually had to drink milk and Pepsi. And it was the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life. But when I was a kid and I'd have lunch with my mom and she'd be drinking Pepsi, she would tell me the only way I could drink Pepsi with her is if I drank it in my milk. And I don't like milk and I don't like Pepsi now. Just go figure. Is that Washington? Wash is awesome. I can't wait to meet Wash. Out of everybody that's going to be there, I mean, seriously, show of hands, how many people are more excited about going to the LA thing to meet Wash? Seriously. We got to figure out, Mark, you got to figure out a way for Wash to give autographs. Maybe like a little imprint of one of his leaves or something, because I know he can't afford to lose any leaves, but maybe just like an imprint of one of his leaves on a picture would be really fun. So, but yeah, he's actually doing photo ops. So I just can't wait. The first thing this is one of the reasons I changed my flight. The first thing that they are doing is a rehearsed table read. It's a table read, right? Of The Odd Couple. I mean, come on. I can't wait. The Odd Couple. I have never seen the stage play. I've only ever seen the TV show and bits and pieces of the movie. So I cannot wait. Yes, there are VIP packages. If you want to get me one for my birthday, they're definitely, my birthday. Wash is going to have a photo op. Yep, like I said. And then we got to figure out a way for him to do autographs too. Yeah, Wash is going to have a photo op. It is literally part of the program. Wash is going to have a photo op. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see if I can call this up. Now that I remember what it's called. No, it's not going to come up. So I'm going to grab it. I meant to grab this before the show, and then I got so caught up in everything else that I was doing, including playing with my new video camera, that I forgot to make a little list of all the websites that I wanted to share with you guys tonight, because there's more than one, but this is the really important one for anybody that is interested in heading out to LA. That's where you can get all the details about the event, including seeing the fact that Wash has a photo op. Gold passes are hanging with us the entire time, Friday through Sunday night. We were also talking about there's a Super Bowl party on Sunday. There's the table reads. There's live music. Yeah. Look at that. See? 2 brunches and a fancy dinner. It's gold. And for the price, it is incredibly reasonable considering how much you pay to eat in LA. I think having some meals covered is going to be amazing. There you go. Sitting on stage. Seating with Connor and Erica and other Trek pals. The list of Trek pals is amazing. Again, go to the website, people, and check out the list of Trek pals. Yeah, etc. Yeah, that's Mark. You realize that's like basically yada-ing like the rest of this event, which is going to be freaking amazing. Just saying. You're yada-ing all the other cool stuff that's going to be happening and all the other amazing people that are going to be there to make it happen. Especially, and you're leaving out the whole tamales on the beach thing, or not the beach, tamales at sunset. There's sunset tamales. There's the brunches, there's all the live stuff, there's the photo ops, all of this really cool stuff. Yeah. And it's all happening in just under 2 weeks. Not that I want to stress you out anymore. Thank you, Tamales in the Park. And it was tamales somewhere. A tequila tasting. Ooh. I think maybe Mark just forgot to type Dominic, but I'm assuming that Dominic was supposed to be part of this. Connor, Erica, and other Trek pals. Are you now throwing Dominic into other Trek pals? Let's see. Wait. If you sync the table read of Shuttlepod Show, Shuttlepod 1, and the Enterprise episode on mute, it's a very cool rewatch. Oh, that's interesting. Exactly. Dominic's going to be on stage. Mark just has to get in the habit of including him again now that he is back in fine fettle. He is recovering very well. He is back on the show. Okay, so you couldn't just type in Dom? All right, whatever. All right, Mark, I guess we'll forgive you. And we do know that he's going to be there. Too many awesome names to type quickly. Like I said, that's why you all need to go to the website because that list is up on the Dom. Yes, we're all glad. His energy is back. His energy on the show is amazing. He's a great conversational interviewer. Which like I said, it's my own style. So I've got no problems with how you guys run your interviews on your shows and how conversational it is, because you know what? Without that relaxed conversational atmosphere, you would not get the amazing stories that you get. That's how that works. The dry Q&A stuff never elicits the same comfy couch sitting, friends talking with friends atmosphere that the Shuttlepod show creates. So yeah, I can't wait to see it live. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be freaking awesome. I'm so excited. And like I said, I'm glad I changed my flight so that I can come out and be there, because as it was, my flight was going to get me in after the Odd Couple thing. That's what I thought you had said. Yes, I did. I did say that. I meant to see. I knew it. I mentioned Armin. I already have my non-Trek question ready to shoot over to Patreon. Armin's amazing. I cannot wait to meet Armin in person one of these days. Yeah, exactly. And even if they're not, even if they just know each other in passing, because it's like, hey, yeah, you guys were on Voyager, how are you? Like, even if that's the extent, by the time they get done on the Shuttlepod show, there's definitely a friendship there. Yes, I noticed. Let's see. Hold on. Yes, I know. So it's just like watching the show when I watched the table read. It was great. Absolutely. There you go. Nancy's got her question. I've got my question all set and ready to go. It's just a matter of sending it before the cutoff date so that nobody has to text it over to Erica in the middle and like get it slid in, like my Walter Koenig question, which I still love the fact that that I got that in. And even if he wasn't real happy talking about Enoch from Land of the Lost. I thought that was great. And I did actually tell Wesley Ure about it. I told Wesley, who played Will on Land of the Lost. I was like, I sent him that clip. I'm like, look, here's Walter talking about Enoch. So it was a lot of fun. So I'm glad that question got in there, and Wesley was really happy too. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, because Walter's going to be, let's see, Walter, basically everybody you've seen so far this season is going to be there at this point. Just about everybody. I don't want to spoil any surprises, but just about everybody that you've seen so far this season is going to be at the live event. Not to mention some people from last season, like the one and only Jeffrey Combs. Jeff and Vaughn are doing, I never remember if it's Jeff and Vaughn and Jeff and Casey. But it's, like 2/3, 2/5 of the Rat Pack are going to be there. And anytime anybody from the Rat Pack gets together to sing, surprises. I can't wait. I love surprises. I haven't even started packing yet. I'm lucky I found this shirt, because right after tonight, it's probably going to go in the must wash before you leave for California pile. Jeff Vaughn, Andrew, yada yada. Here we go. Jeff Vaughn, Andrew, yada yada yada. Let's see if I can do this. Nana, Ciroc, Anthony Montgomery, Andrew Robinson, who you said, and just so many more people. Again, just go check out the link that I posted, because y'all need to go check it out. It's a beautifully done webpage to sell tickets and to tell people about the event. So whoever did that webpage did a really good job. So do you guys have anything else to say? I mean, I've got a half an hour to settle down and get my butt over so that I can watch so I can fall asleep to Enterprise, the 3rd episode with the augments. Again, bad parenting. Songs make lousy parents. They make great androids and lousy parents. So any final words from anybody before we shut this whole thing down for the week? Besides, join me on Patreon. I am on Patreon. Let's see. Did I put that in here? Like I said, new. Yep, I did. That's where I am on Patreon. How easy breezy is that? And when you join me on Patreon, is anybody here coming to the event besides me? Because in case you couldn't figure it out, I'm going. I thought, is it Mars? Mars was here. Mars was here. She's going, right? But I don't know if she's still with us. But Mars was here. Well, you know what? There's still time. Lottery and all that fun stuff. Guys, go out and play lottery. Maybe if you pick up a win in the lottery, you'll be able to come out and join us. That is me on Patreon. And you know what? While you're over on Patreon, checking out, if you want to become one of my patrons, help me, keep these platforms in line, figure out what the best restreaming platform is, because right now this one's on the bubble, as they say in the TV world. But while you're over there looking to see if you want to patron me, you can also patron the Shuttlepod Show, so that you can watch the live stream of the live event, right, Mark? That's the scuttlebutt, is that patrons are going to get some streaming from the event if they can't make it. So let's see. Oh, the other way you can support the show is if you head over to Teespring, because that is where you will find my merch. So if you don't want to become a patron, that's totally fine. But how about support the show with a t-shirt or something fun? I've got t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, anything for all seasons, any reasons. That's what I'm saying. Yep. Working on getting it so the people that can't make it can still enjoy the experience. So, guys, thank you so much, as always, for being here. I always appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out. Follow me on the socials. I'm NX7062 everywhere. This guy, Mark, go follow him. Go follow that little show that he does so that you can be kept abreast of all the fun stuff that's coming up. Am I doing a special episode from your event? I think I could be talked into it. Oh, thank you, Nancy. I so appreciate your support. Thank you. Me? Yeah, I could probably be talked into that. With my brand new camera that Domestic got me. This was the last thing on my Amazon wish list. So I would love to come out and break it in. I would love to come out and break it in. So Mark, you and I are going to talk. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, well, thank you, Nancy. Thank you. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Absolutely, Mark. Thank you for asking. All right, guys, guess what? On that really fun note, and now that I've got something else to figure out, but like I said, it's a perfect way to break my new camera in, so abso-fucking-lutely. And that would actually take care of me doing a Monday night show. Guys, good night. Thank you so much for being here, as always. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see. What, JR, what are you saying here? Thank you for being a Trekkie, beam down the planet and back again. Your heart is... Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Yes, I resemble this remark. You are all rad. You all rad. Thank you, everybody. I had such a good time. I'm gonna. Good night, DJ Kitty Cat. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you all for being here. As always, a pleasure. I could not obviously be here without you. So thanks for hanging out. You're all rad, like Mark said. And you know what? Until next time, make sure you live long and prosper.
This is Connor Turner. You've been listening to the NX7062 podcast with Stephanie. Enjoy your evening.